Income elasticity of demand, YED, is a measure of the responsiveness of quantity demanded, QD, to changes in income, Y. The formula for calculating it is percentage change in QD divided by percentage change in Y. YED is positive for normal goods because income and demand move in the same direction. When income increases, demand also increases, and vice versa. YED is negative for inferior goods because income and demand move in the opposite direction. When income increases, demand decreases, and vice versa. An example of an inferior good is cheap groceries like canned food and instant noodles. In the case of normal goods, a YED greater than 1 implies that the product is a luxury good or service, like manicures and expensive watches, while a YED less than 1 implies the product is a necessity, like bread and rice. We use Engel curves to represent the relationship between income and quantity demanded. An inferior good will have a negatively sloped Engel curve. A necessity will have a relatively steep positively sloped Engel curve, while a luxury will have a relatively flat positively sloped Engel curve. The Engel curve can also be used to show how demand for the same product changes as income changes. On this diagram, the vertical axis shows income per week in dollars. The horizontal axis shows the quantity of hot dogs consumed per week. The curve connects 5 key points, labeled A through E, which show how many hot dogs are purchased at different income levels. Let's start at point E, which represents the highest income level here. The annotation tells us that the income elasticity of demand, or YED, is less than 0 between points E and D. This means hot dogs are considered an inferior good at this income level. People actually buy fewer hot dogs as their income rises. Next, between points D and C, YED equals 0. This means demand for hot dogs remains constant despite changes in income. People buy roughly the same amount regardless of income changes. Between points C and B, YED is positive but less than 1. This indicates hot dogs are a necessity here. Demand increases with income, but at a slower rate than income grows. Between points B and A, YED is greater than 1. Here, hot dogs act like a luxury good. Demand rises faster than income. When people have more money, they spend proportionally more on hot dogs. So the Engel curve shows us how consumption of a good changes with income. It helps us categorize goods as inferior, necessities, or luxuries based on their income elasticity of demand. In summary, if YED is less than 0, which means YED is negative, the good is inferior. If YED is between 0 and 1, it's a necessity. If YED is greater than 1, it's a luxury. But whether a good is inferior, a necessity, or a luxury depends on the level of income. The same product can be inferior for a person or community with high income, but considered a luxury for a person or community with low income. Income elasticity of demand, YED, is equally important for decision making. YED helps businesses and governments understand how changes in consumer income affect demand for different products. For instance, luxury items typically have high positive YED, meaning demand increases significantly as income rises. This information is valuable for businesses in targeting their products. Similarly, during economic downturns, governments can use YED data to predict which industries might need support and how changes in income will affect different sectors of the economy.